everybody. It is Wednesday, and you know what? It's time for Hammer Away. It's Viking Stew here, and a little bit of the sad news we got last week. We're going to be remembering John Sykes today.
Dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Oh, yeah. So, John Sykes. What a great guitar player. Do you like my Batman angle? Maybe if you hate it, you're going to hate it, but I don't know. I kind of dig it. Anyway, John Sykes. I knew about John Sykes through college, I guess. In '87 is when the Whitesnake album came out. Of course, Slide It In. And I was interested to know because some of the things that he was cited for, I don't like. I'll show you one here in a second. But of course, he had a great hard rocking career, smashing guitar player, great songwriter, killer singer. That's what freaked me out in 1988, and we'll get to that in a second. He was on Tigers. He was in Tigers of Pantang for a couple albums. I just saw a quick little article, something where the guitar player Rob Weir was talking about how they didn't necessarily want him in the band, I guess, but did some shows with them, and they were like, "Yeah, good to go." But they have him listed for Crazy Nights and Spellbound, but also The Cage, which is one of the albums that I have. I've had this for decades, but I was looking on the back and I didn't see any listing. So I don't know if there's any song listings I don't know that he has any. No, I don't see any credits on the songs. Because this has Brian Dick, Rocky, Rob Weir, Fred Purser, and John Deverell on it. It was produced by Peter Collins, of course, who's worked with many folks, including Rush. I don't see him in any of that. I don't know if maybe he played on it and just wasn't credited for that. But they also have him listed on the Live at Nottingham Rock City. There's one for my brother Stuart Corden over there in Nottingham. But then he's listed as being with Thin Lizzy for Thunder and Lightning, Life Live, BBC Radio 1 in concert, and One Night Only. Let's bring up a few things before we move on into the next thing. I bring up some photos here that I pulled up. A wonderful shot of John there. This is probably back in the late '80s, probably late '80s. Is right around the time of Blue Murder. And here he is though playing in Whitesnake. And of course the huge Whitesnake album that just was set a standard. Let's just put it that way. Was just all around an amazing record. But do yourself a favor. I didn't notice this until just recently when I was listening to the album while I was working around down here in the War to End All Wars. There's a lot of that stuff going on, there's a couple of times. I think it probably happens in a row, but yeah, it's pretty wild. Check it out. Here he is in this Tigers of Pantang days. There you go, Jonathan Deverell, and there's Rocky and Brian Dick and Rob Weir. So yeah, I was thinking that I really want to check these two albums out tonight. I'm really excited to do that because I love listening to stuff that I knew about but never collected. So here are these two albums, Crazy Nights, which of course would be also a Crazy Nights would be Kiss, but isn't that a great cover? And Spellbound. This reminds me of a kind of has that Roger Dean feel to it, and I love tigers. One of my all-time, it's my all-time favorite animal is tigers. But yeah, definitely listed for those two records, and yeah, and those others. But like I say, the cage, I just went through it and I didn't see anything on it. So anyway, that's that. So Thunder and Lightning, though, when he was with Thin Lizzy, I got a couple of shots. Here's one with Phil Lynott, and I thought I had one other one too of them playing, but I guess not. But Thunder and Lightning is a fantastic record, smoking album. Came out in 1983, and it just was. It was a kind of a departure from the usual stuff that Thin Lizzy had done. They started getting a little heavier once um, Chinatown, but even then, still, they were keeping some of that cool vibe, cool groove, but damn, they hit this thing. Thunder and Lightning just kicks ass. Here it is. Now, there's something else I want to bring up too. Um, Judas Priest in 1990 changed their producer. Um, and it wasn't Tom Allen. If you notice way at the bottom here, it says Chris Sangarides. Chris Sangarides, I thought that was interesting because Chris Sangarides, of course, uh, was a producer. I don't know if he was on this record, but he was definitely did stuff. He produced the album The Cage by Tigers of Pantang. Um, and also produced Painkiller for the 1990 release, Painkiller for Judas Priest. Um, so it was kind of interesting to revisit this. I remember this now, seeing that uh, liner note on the back cover, that it was Chris Sangarides, which, like I say, interesting. John Sykes was in the band, and he was in Tigers of Pantang. So always interesting. Thunder and Lightning. This is the one. The sun goes down. The holy war, cold sweat. Somebody is going to hit back. Baby, please don't go. Bad habits and heart attack. It's a great record. Check it out if you haven't. Never have. Just some amazing stuff. Here is Loveland by John Sykes. John's got a lot of other, he has several other things that are solo albums, but in between that time frame, he did a band called Blue Murder. If you've not heard Blue Murder, check them out. I thought this was kind of interesting. I do have a jewel box version, just like this. I've got a jewel box version, but I also have the what do they call it? The digipack, where it's just the cardboard. That was originally what I had in 1988. Kind of came out at the same time as the first Batman movie with Michael Keaton. It's a big thing. I was working at the newspaper, and those things were coming out, so that's what it was. That was kind of cool. Let's see. Here's a cool shot of John Sykes. This is when he was in Tokyo being interviewed while he was with Thin Lizzy. And then here he is with Whitesnake. There's Cozy Powell. Look at that. Man, it's too bad he had to pass away so many years ago. Here you go. There's John as part of Thin Lizzy as well here. But yeah, here's one of here's the shot from the album cover for Blue Murder. I heard somebody had just something to say bad about Tony. Wow. Tony Levin's bass playing. I was like, oh, come on. Just, I don't think this person likes fretless bass playing, I think is really the way it looks. Because, man, his bass playing's phenomenal. It's not Levin, it's Tony Franklin. Yeah, Tony Franklin is great on that album and so many other things. And I just love the bass recording on that record. Sounds fantastic. But yeah, Blue Murder. If you haven't checked that out, it's a great record. That first one. Also, Roy Cathy was singing Valley of the Kings down in Nashville a few years ago, in 2021, as a matter of fact. Here it was, the Rockin' Pod, the Expo down in Nashville. August 7th, 2021. Look at that. Um, and that's Greg Bissonette and Billy Sheehan signed that for me. They were there. It's great to see them and to meet Mr. Bissonette. Um, but it was a neat thing there down in Nashville. Um, but anyway, yeah, Roy, they had a big shindig where they had, a big jam and everything, and Ricky Rackman was there and all kinds of things. But anyway, Roy Cathy got up there and sang Valley of the Kings and killed it. And he said it's the only song I've ever I've ever sung that has the word bequeath in it. Oh, it's a great one. Salvatore, how are you? Um, yeah, maybe we got to play a little tonight, huh? Do a little Rocket League later on tonight. Might have to do that. We can chat more about it on Go Game Go, or we can chat now. Whatever. If you got something you want to talk about, let me know. Now, so John hit my life in those places. Um, Unfortunately, John never was a part of the video stuff with Whitesnake. When Blue Murder hit, it blew me away. I First of all, it's a great record. That's number one. But secondly, frickin' John Sykes. I don't know. I don't know where he was hiding all these years. I mean, it definitely completely just there's just no other way to say it. It totally blew that, excuse me for a moment, bullshit line that Dio handed that he handed Vivian Campbell, that I guess has kind of become, famous now. Um, where Vivian Campbell was looking forward to adding some vocals to some of the music and things like that, and being a little more, um, into the mix. And Dio, I guess, looked at him. I'm probably paraphrasing a bit, but and said something to the effect of, "Vivian, singers sing, guitar players play guitar." What kind of shit is that? I mean, there are some guitar players that over the years you're like, maybe shouldn't have done that, but it's not like it's horrible. It's just not great, and it's just not as powerful as other singers. But not John Sykes. I mean, he ranks right up there with any of the any other guitar players that have these smoking voices. Um, and it's just poof, like Huey Thomason. There, he's a smoking guitar player. He was the lead singer, one of the lead singers. So it's a shit line. It's a bullshit line. It's not something you need to hand out to anybody. Um, because when you've got somebody like John Sykes, I just was wondering where the hell you've been all this time, because he sounded a lot like, you listen to Blue Murder, you're gonna go, is that Coverdale? But they had two albums and then a live album. Um, I could finish that up here real quick. Whitesnake, slide it in, Whitesnake, and then he's credited because of other things. There's some live stuff. They put out a live album. Blue Murder, there was Blue Murder and nothing but trouble, and then they put a Screaming Blue Murder, which is a live album. Then he had a bunch of solo stuff, which was Out of My Tree, Loveland was the second, 20th Century, Nuclear Cowboy, and then he did a Whitesnake Live in '84 album. So it's called Bad Boy Live. Yeah. And then appeared also, I didn't remember this or know it. And this is cool too. He's on Derek Sherinian's album Mythology. He's also on Mary Axmas Volume 2, which I do have. And but this one, if you've never heard the Hughes Turner Project, HTP, do it. Check it out straight away, because man, it kicks some ass. So HTP, John Sykes does a little guest appearance on there. So check that out. All right, so let's move forward. So John Sykes, we're so sorry that he's gone. Let me just read a little bit of this too. This is an article that was run in People magazine. John Sykes dies of cancer at 65. Thoughtful, kind, and charismatic. Guitarist John Sykes, who played in classic British rock bands Whitesnake and Thin Lizzy, has died, and Tigers of Pantang. He was 65. Um, Sykes' death was announced in a statement his official website on Monday, January 20th, that said he'd passed away after a hard-fought battle with cancer. He will be remembered by many as a man with exceptional musical talent. But for those who didn't know him, you know what? I'm going to do this real quick too. Sorry, I'm going to put that up while I'm doing this. For those who didn't know him personally, he was a thoughtful, kind, and charismatic man whose presence lit up the room. The statement read, he certainly marched to the beat of his own drum and always pulled for the underdog. In his final days, he spoke of his sincere love and gratitude for his fans who stuck by him through all those years. Then also in a statement, it concluded with, while the impact of his loss is profound and the mood somber, we hope the light of his memory will extinguish the shadow of his absence. The British rocker, who was born and raised in Reading after a brief stint living in Ibiza, Spain, as a child, started his career in 1980 with Tigers of Pantang, a British heavy metal band. After 2 years of touring and making music with the group, he left to join Thin Lizzy, led by Phil Lynott. Thin Lizzy were one of my all-time favorite bands anyway, and to be asked to join them was like a dream come true, Sykes told Metal Express Radio in 2008. It was an honor and a privilege to be picked by Phil. To be picked by Phil is probably the highlight of my career, and it doesn't really get much better than that. Sykes joined Thin Lizzy in 82 and performed on albums like Thunder and Lightning. After the group's farewell tour in 83, Sykes joined Lynott on his solo tour. Before long, his talents were noticed by Whitesnake singer David Coverdale, who invited Sykes to join his group. Once Sykes got Lynott's blessing, he joined Whitesnake, first appearing on the U.S. release of the 1984 record Slide It In. Together, he and Coverdale wrote nearly every song in the band's next self-titled album, which came out in 87 and included hits like Still the Night and Is This Love. Despite the record's success, it sold 20 million copies. His relationship with Coverdale soured during the recording, and Sykes and the rest of the group were fired. In an interview with Rock Candy magazine in 2017, Sykes said he was still very bitter about how things went down with Coverdale, as he only learned of his ousting from the band's A&R manager. Coverdale, meanwhile, told Metal Edge magazine, it was unfortunate that things went squirrely between him and Sykes, and that they'd recently spoken again for the first time after 15 years of animosity and got on well. John was and is an incredible talent. Our musical chemistry was great, but it didn't work personally, he said. John was critical to that record and a superb live player, but there were many important aspects of things that were not there. It wasn't meant to be. Upon Sykes' death, Coverdale shared a tribute message on Instagram, writing, just heard the shocking news of John's passing. My sincere condolences to his family and friends and fans. After leaving Whitesnake, Sykes formed the group Blue Murder with bassist Tony Franklin and drummer Carmine Appice. Blue Murder released its self-titled album in 1989, and Sykes later had a solo career. Sykes married wife Jennifer in 1989, and they divorced 10 years later. He was survived by his sons James, John Jr., and Sean, according to The Guardian. So there you go. Plenty of... all right. Plenty of thoughts going out to all those people. Yeah. So anyway, let's move on. We have unboxings. Let's do that. I showed these packages to my wife the other day. She's like, what did you get? I go, I have no idea. To be honest, I don't remember. Because there's something here that looks like vinyl, but I don't remember what it is. And oh, wow. Wow. There we go. All right. Now I know what this is, but I don't know exactly which one it is. So lately, I've been in this Kung Fu movie thing right? I watched Enter the Dragon. Now I just watched Good Guys Wear Black, which is like Norris's first leading dude, and it is also, I may have mentioned this before, but I don't know if I did not. Then this is what I'm going to say now. Is that is probably due to cable, probably where I fell in love with Ann Archer. She was a beauty in that movie. Yeah, this is a double feature that I ordered. I got a good deal on this used, and it is The Way of the Dragon, A Game of Death with Bruce Lee. Look at that. How about that? I got it on regular DVD. Some of the, I don't know, I might get some things on Blu-ray later, but just right now, just kind of wanted to watch the movies a bit and have them, you know, if some of these movies, they get so old that, you know, and you're like, sometimes they're better, sometimes they're really not on a different, you know, platform. So, you know, all right, this is what I'm talking about. It's square, it looks vinyl, but I don't remember what this is. And you never know. It could look like vinyl, and it could be a laser disc. You just never know. You just never know. Or is it a book? No, it's a something. Let's get this figured out. What do we got here? Jeez whiz. I didn't cut that very well. Silly man. All right. Oh, no, I know what this is. Are you guys ready for this? Speaking of the war to end all wars and remodeling, I ordered a little something from Amazon, and you can personalize it. So let's see what we got. I wanted to get some cool Viking stuff for the kitchen. And so, und I did. So let's see what we got. I have another something in my cart right now. My gosh. They did a great job packaging this thing. Wouldn't it suck if it doesn't have my name on it? My God, get this stuff out of here. Ugh. All right, this feels like hardware. Let's keep that. We got screws. Oh, man, we got something new and we got screwed. Oh, yeah, this is cool. Ooh. Yeah, look at that. Oh, man, this is cool. All right, I know, it's taken me a minute. I'm serious. They packed this thing. I'm just trying to get all this plastic off of it. Oh. This is how the world works when you lie. Good God, and I can't keep this stuff lying around and my cat will get into it. What a twerp. Oh, man. Are you guys ready? Yikes, that's... Ooh, I gotta be careful there. Ooh, I gotta get this mounted on a piece of wood fast. There you go. You know what? I'm gonna have to put this against something. Like what I just threw over there. All right, let me see here. What can I do? What can I do? What can I do? Let us try this. Oh, look, perfect. Come here. Come here, come here, come here. Come here, come here, come here. Look at that. The Viking kitchen. Wait till my wife gets a load of that. She's going to love that. Seriously, she'll love it. She has been awaiting this transformation for a long time. This has been a long time coming. The Viking kitchen. That's going to be great. It's going to go right up on the beam. It's going to be bitching. All right. What's next? No idea. No idea what we've got here. Once I open it, we'll know. Hopefully there'll be something exciting. So, anybody interested in seeing the new Captain America movie? I am not. There's many reasons why, but what do we have? Oh, there we go. Thank God there's something in here relatable, because this is just cat food. otherwise. So let's put that down here. But no, it's not only cat food. Not only cat food. It is the deluxe version, the book deluxe version of Judas Priest. I almost did a show about Judas Priest today, The Invincible Shield. I love this record. Um, the original version that I got for my birthday, it was because it was the least expensive. Um, only goes to a certain point. It ends with Giants in the Sky. This that's 11 tracks. This version also has Fight of Your Life, Vicious Circle, and The Lodger. Those are your bonus tracks, 12, 13, and 14. So I thought it worthwhile. The price had come down. So there you go. Invincible Shield. It's a great record. Firepower is great too. But yeah, I almost did a show today about Judas Priest music, but I'll save that and we'll do it soon. We shall. Um, then let's see what else we got here. Hopefully nothing else is cat food. All right. Oh, we're banging things around. Look at that. All right. Hopefully everybody had a good day today. What kind of music are you guys listening to these days? Last couple of days, I've had my thrash metal playlist playing. But then today, I wanted something with a little bit more just helping keep the mind rolling. And, yep, look at that. So this, oh, I understand. It's like a magic trick. Boy. All right, so this is for the war to end all wars. Look at that. We have cabinets that go up against a beam. And so, bink, they knock the beam. So I bought these little bumpers, which I'm actually going to use on something else too. We have a strip that's bad on our shower door. So I'm going to put those on the back of the L or the F thing. And then here is the cabinet liners and everything. So we got the Viking sign, and we got the bumpers, and we got this. Yes. New fridge comes in as well. And then that is, I think that's just my big roll. We're going to leave that. So there you go. But yeah, so I also had gotten a video recently. Wanted to talk a little bit about Good Guys Wear Black. If you've not seen this movie, it is one of the better Chuck Norris films, in my opinion. Octagon is on my list over there. I've got it in the stack of CDs or DVDs to watch later. It was good. Back in the day, it was better when I watched it on cable for the first time. This I saw on cable. The Jackie Chan movie I saw in the theater that I was talking about on the earlier show. And then, but when I was helping at a house recently and they were just getting rid of everything, they had this, it's a video called The Real Bruce Lee. So if you guys also remember, I was talking about Circle of Iron, which is a movie that was written, the storyline was written by Bruce Lee and James Coburn and one other gentleman. And I started watching it. So I'm partway through it already with David Carradine playing multiple parts. Right now he's up against the Monkey Men. So, but yeah, this is an interesting piece. I'm looking forward to watching this, co-starring Bruce Lee, like Lee L.I. and Dragon Lee. There you go. All right. And Alpha Video Distributors. There's some great classic pictures there. Cool stuff. Which, watch Enter the Dragon and enjoy it as a Shang-Chi film. It's more Shang-Chi than the Shang-Chi film was. That's all I can say about that. Now, also, I guess, lastly, have a piece where I've got a cover. I love doing craft things. That's what it's craft things, but creative things. So I have old guitars. I have my old basses. I've got a couple of Ibanez. Now I want to do something with those, and I'm thinking. First off, I was thinking maybe I'll do, uh, I'll just paint them and put them on the wall, or decoupage it and put it on the wall. But one of them, I would rather just get a fretless neck. People buy necks all the time online, so I thought, why not? I'll just get a fretless neck and do it that way. Um, so that I might do. But one of them, I thought I'll make it into kind of a coat hanger. Just make it into a coat hanger, put it upstairs by the front door, and might be kind of fun. So I'm thinking about how I'm going to mount that. I'm definitely going to make a base that's going to look like a pick, and that'll be the base on the floor. Now, the beauty of it is every guitar, mostly every electric guitar or bass, has a hole in the one end where the peg goes to hold the guitar strap. So you have this automatic spot where you can drive a nice long screw right up the middle of it and mount it like that. And then you can do something cool. I thought maybe I'd come up with some kind of cool piece to kind of shark fin down the back, which would be a kind of a curved triangle to help give it a little more structure there and hold it a little tighter. And then I wanted to see if I can get some, I have a bunch of wood out there, which are natural branches. And I thought either multiples of those put together and attached to the back of the base, and those would go up over the base. But I just thought some kind of cool, you know, hat coat rack would be really, really neat. Now, we have a piece in the kitchen where it's a cabinet, and they had to cut out part of the cabinet to get it around the vent piping. So I said, you know what? I think that's about the size of a cigar box, right? So sure enough, I found a cigar box, right? Well, I took the one end out so that can go up against the door, right? And then I took the top off because it needs to hug the, up on the top. So then I came up with this. This fits perfectly right up there. And then I thought, well, I might want to do something with the edges to cover those, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But I found this cool kind of Viking graphic that I wanted to put on the bottom. So it'll meet the wall, and this is what you'll see. This was a great graphic I found on the internet, and just printed it out and put it on there. Just decoupaged it on. I may redo it. I don't know. When you do decoupage with printed things, I'm going to do a little research. Sometimes we don't do everything right, right? Even though I want a decoupage, I don't know that I'm doing it right. And the problem with it becomes is as you put the decoupage on here, if you smear across, the problem is so does some of the ink. Some of the ink gets kind of comes back to life, gets a little wet, and then it will drag across. And it won't. You'll notice that maybe you can see it or not, but it kind of streaks up here a little bit, and there's some of this orangey red color comes up in the air. I don't like that. It's not horrid, but all the same, I'd rather it be a little cleaner. But we'll see. I don't know. I may stick with it. It's going to be up in a cabinet, for crying out loud. You're not going to see it all the time. But as you open the cabinet, then you'll see that. You'll look up and you'll see that right there. Because I kind of liked this. The only thing I didn't like was this bit of this label that's stuck on here. So I don't know. We'll see what I end up doing. But decoupaging, I just love that, and my wife liked it, so that's cool. I just love that. Now here's another piece that I want to clean up, shall I say? And I loved this piece, this Viking men and woman here. I thought it was a great piece that I'd like to kind of rework and then use upstairs somehow. Whether it's something that reoccurs, maybe I do it. Oh, that would make, look at that. That would make a great stamp. Let's think about that. And then I could just, I'd love to make a stamp and use that on everything that I give to people when I bake in the new kitchen. this is another piece of art that I love, and I've showed them this before, I do believe. This flaming tiger. I just love this flame tiger. I used it on a banner for a band that I was in called Ragin' Cajon, and this is from the packaging of a blanket that I have with this on it, which I can almost use right now because it's a little chilly down here. That's why I put on my Iron Maiden hoodie. Keeps me warm all the time and always rocking. So it's a great thing. It's a great thing. So then I'm working on the front closet too. My daughter gave me a great idea on how to deal with a front closet that has a door on it and feels clunky. We have this 3 doors right at the front, and you're like, this is ridiculous. So yeah, I started on it a little early. I'm not the guy that's going to finish it either. I need help to finish it. But all the same, took the door out, took part of the frame out of the back, and I'm looking at it, doing measurements, put the cabinet inside. We'll see how it goes. We will see how it goes, folks. All right. I hope everybody has had a great day, and I look forward to our next show. We're going to be talking with some people. I've been making some calls. I've got lots of people that are ready to roll, and it's just a matter of me getting everything finished, because one of those guests will be right here with me. And in this mess that I've got right now, that can't happen. So these are the reasons that we straighten ourselves up and get ourselves right? All right. Oh, you know what? Wow. The saga continues. I don't know why I didn't even change it to this, did I? Oh man, that stinks. I thought I did. I thought I put it in. But anyway, that's all right. All right, folks, have a great evening. I'll be back at 7 o'clock on Go Game Go as usual. And let's see, what time is it now? Yeah, 6:07. All right. So a little under an hour. We'll see you back on YouTube on that and our other platforms that we have. And we just remembering John Sykes. Think about all those folks that you've really loved listening to over the years, and keep all that stuff alive. Here's another one that comes to mind as well. Jeff LaBar, just an amazing person, amazing talent. And oddly enough, I've got this one right here. Look at that. She's right there on the motorcycle. That's Jan Keenemund right there from Vixen. Just another great name in rock, and such a sweet woman. She was very nice. Had a great conversation with her many years ago for that first album. All right, folks, have a great one, and just remember, it's one of those things. When you step outside your door, you're in everybody else's world. They are not in yours. So act accordingly. Be cool, and let's see if we can keep things on the up. Rock on, folks.